actually. Probably prefer not being average. Thank you very much, Sharon. If there's any breaking news, Sharon will be back during the program. Stephen Cartwright joins us now. He's part of a great group, the New South Wales Business Chamber, and they're getting together with other chambers of commerce, and they are trying to back in small business. They launched a program today which is about small business, frankly, being too big to ignore. You're going to start seeing TV ads all over the place in the lead up to the federal election. Lots of stickers as well, as frankly, small business, for once, gets its act together and wants to start lobbying government. To give you an idea of the size of small business, there are 2 million of them in Australia, and they employ more than 7 million people. Small business matters. I've believed it my entire life, and it's a privilege to be able to talk to Stephen here in the studio. G'day, mate. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right, now, this is a great idea because, put simply, off those facts and figures, it's bigger than the mining industry. Yet it's always a tack on portfolio, it's in and out of cabinet, there's multiple ministers every couple of years. Good on you for doing this. What's the point of the campaign? What do you want?
Well, the point of the campaign is to make sure that the next government in this country, and we're not saying what that should look like, but the next government in this country should be putting small business way further up the priority ladder than it has been historically. There should be a dedicated small business minister who focuses on this. We're talking about almost 60% of GDP each year created by small business. I would have thought would be one of the first things that the government would do is say, who's going to look after this really important part of the economy? So that's what we're hoping to achieve and hoping to influence the policies that do come out of the next government.
Well, and you've got to hope too, and this has been part of my frustration, is that with it being either a tack on ministry or a different minister turning up all the time, you want a consistent voice around the cabinet table who says, I don't know about this company tax thing, it affects this guy and this guy and this person, and also, when you are a small business, you feel like you're being knocked over by the big guy down the road. At least you want somebody around the table of government, somebody who's not in it for profit, somebody who's trying to fight for you.
Yeah, I think the problem has been that the really big companies, they can get the ear of government pretty easily. They can explain what it is that they need to work properly. I think the problem with small business is historically it hasn't been organised. They haven't had a clear, crystal clear, strong, loud voice. And, you know, each individual small business person thinks, what can I do? I can't have any influence. I can't educate the government on what's really going on. The time, I think, has come for us to step into that role and really make sure it happens.
But also it's a thing too, that the media needs to understand that when they're putting together stories about reactions to budget or anticipation of budget or all of those things, that it's pretty easy to go and see what the mining industry thinks. It's good to go and see what a big organisation thinks. And I know there have been joints in the past, but basically somebody getting out there to say on the behalf of your local newsagent and fish shop and lawn mowing run, there's somebody to put their hand up.
Well, if 7 million Australian jobs are important, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's time that we had that conversation.
Yeah. All right, now I've got to ask you, blank check in the Chamber's idea, what do you want from government? Do you want them to get out of the way? Do you want a change in the company tax rate? Best case scenario, from either side of politics, what wins you over with small business?
I think get out of the way is the key message. The nanny state now in this country, there's so much intervention. You know, people will say, oh, it's the high dollar that's causing pain for small business. Yes, it is in many sectors, but you'd be amazed at how innovative small business can be if you just give them the chance. But tie both of their hands behind their back with red tape, over-regulation, you know, a Fair Work Act that is completely unfair to all the people in the small business sector, that causes them real pain and heartache because they can't innovate their way around these problems. And government's got to get out of the way and let them do what they're capable of doing. When the mining construction sector slows down and the employment levels drop as a result, small business can actually pick up the slack. Small business can do the heavy lifting, but you've got to get out of the way. Yeah. And governments don't get out of the way. It's not in their nature to get out of the way, but we need to.
Yeah. Now also, I'll give you a website in a second, which if you want to get in touch with these guys, become part of the movement, but you're also trying to get some TV ads up on places like Sky News. I'll give you a free plug. Here's part of the ad that hopefully small business will be running very, very soon all over TV. Have a look.
There are over 2 million of us in Australia, small business operators.
Doing what we can to make a go of things.
In a pretty tough economic environment.
And a lot of people think that because we're small, we don't matter.
But together, we're too big to ignore.
Help make sure small business gets heard in Canberra this election. Add your voice at toobigtoignore.org.au.
Good on you. Great idea. I mean, the mining industry's spending $22 million to get its voice heard. You should have the same chance as well. So that website, what do people see at that website? What can people do at that website if they're in small business and they want to join the wider movement?
Well, the first thing we want them to do is just add their voice so that we can actually go to government, go to the candidates standing for the next election and say, we have this many people now backing our campaign, so add your voice. We'd like people to donate as well if they think it's a good cause, because the more money we raise, the bigger noise we can make, and that's important as well. And the most important thing, we want people to tell their own stories. So we want small business people to go on there and say, this is what I'm frustrated about, or this is what I've got a problem with, or these are the things that need changing. There's a facility there where you can record your own message, upload it to the website, and that will be really useful for us as well.
Good stuff. Stephen Cartwright, I can tell you this, your number one fan in small business is this bloke on this show. Come back anytime. All the best.
Appreciate it.
Good on you. All right, make sure you go and check out that website. It is toobigtoignore.org.au. Break and back with more. A great panel this evening.